Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I created Magic and Miracles so that I could help people of all walks of life achieve their manifestation goals. All the information from me is below. Understand that in order to get into coaching with me, you first must, it's mandatory, book a 1 hour session in which we will go over everything that you want to achieve, everything that you want to work on, your story. I will give you advice. I will definitely give you my take. I will give you what to do, the pointers, the overall so to speak, program that I would adhere to if you were in my coaching. Now, this hour session is for us, both of us, to decide whether or not this is a good match. I'm very much interested in working with individuals who are wide open, who are receptive, and those are the individuals who will ultimately benefit from my coaching, but immensely. Shit you haven't even dreamt of yet, okay? But if I feel that it is not a right fit, please understand it's for your own good, okay? You're just not ready for me, and that should be okay. Maybe you need therapy, maybe you are in therapy, okay? And I would prefer that you are not in therapy, because chances are if you are in therapy, there's something going on that you're working on that I cannot help you. I'm not equipped to help you. Okay, and it will directly interfere. I've had these experiences with the coaching process. Okay, and so as to save both of us time and you money, these are the requirements. You book the first session, we rendezvous during the session, we get to know each other outside videos, and then and only then will you book the monthly package, which is the signature package, okay? Now, in this package, when you're starting out with me, this is the package that you need, signature package. I meet 3 times per week with you via Zoom or via phone call. Everything's recorded. And in this package, I recommend 2 to 3 months. Now, you might need just 2 months, but this is the bare minimum. You might also need 3 or 4 months or 5 months. I've seen that. Now, it depends on the situation. It depends on the person. I usually downgrade the person if they're still staying with me after 3 months and they feel like they really need me still. But the frequency is not 3 times per week, and it's an entirely different arrangement that we have. And most commonly, the package of 5 sessions, the touch-up sessions, they're on my website. That is what is being utilized once a week, maybe twice a week, but not really. It's usually once a week, okay? Now, again, if you're not, for whatever reason, and I sympathize and I understand, it's not like that I don't understand or that I don't sympathize, but this is coaching. This is a work environment, and we need to respect what I'm giving you here. If you, for whatever reason, are not able to embark on this journey with me of 2 to 3 months comfortably, please don't even reach out. I'm so sorry, but I'm so serious, because it's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. I always put in 100 zillion trillion % in every single client that comes to me in coaching, especially in the beginning when I'm getting to know somebody. I take a truckload of notes. I re-listen to sessions sometimes twice, and these are long sessions. So imagine the amount of time I invest in this. So it will be completely unfair if you actually are not equipped or prepared to go through this process comfortably, and you need to inconvenience me. This is not going to happen going forward. I will not accept anything but this. In addition to this, please keep in mind, I'm only one person. There's absolutely nobody that I delegate this work to. Not even my assistant gets to see anything. Everything is confidential in my coaching. So having said that, I'm only one person, and there is a waiting list. There's only that many people that I can manage in 1 month at one time to coach. So when you're booking this session, understand I'm meeting you, and then you're being put on the waiting list if we agree this is the right fit, and you will be given a time, okay, when you can start. These are the rules, and you will have to sign the coaching agreement. There are a couple of others there, very self-explanatory, that you will need to sign by hand. Print your name, print the date, and send it to me in an attachment, okay, after you're done scanning it. So if you have any questions as far as that goes, please reach out to me directly via my email. Some people use the website, chat messaging. That's fine, but I really prefer the email, and all the emails, I have 2 of them. You can reach me directly below. Okay, so I want to remind everybody, and subscribe if you're new. You're going to learn so much on this channel. It's fucking ridiculous, like really ridiculous. People who coach with me end up not watching anybody else but me. Not to brag, but true story. I want to remind everybody that we're back to having lives on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My lovely darling Kat V, my fabulous, extraordinary, world-class moderator Kat V is back. And I'm so fucking excited to say that for the first time in almost a year, I think I could cry just thinking about it, honestly. I was able last Saturday to experience a live with just regular people without the haters bombarding the shit out of my lives, which has been happening for almost a year, like I said. And I'm so I walked away from that live totally elated. You should go watch it. It's a very raw, very kind of like kick in the ass kind of live, but very truthful. And this is something that nobody fucking talks about, because they want to look pretty with their glitter in their eyes and blueberry pies in their hand, sugarcoating bullshit. I don't do that. I don't waste your time. And this is exactly what the live represents, but there are a lot of golden nuggets in there. It's a little bit long, an hour, 39 minutes, I think it is. But all, worth watching, and definitely illustrates, the way that I think, etc., etc. So go watch that. So the subject of today is reinterpret the drama into a fairy tale. Really big subject, and I'm sure that one audio will not be sufficient to cover this. However, we can start. By the way, really quick, whoever fucking sends me these things in the email that they want me to promote their energy drinks, they want me to promote this and that, bitch, pay me first, okay? And then we can talk about it. Sending me these junk mails ain't gonna get you anywhere. Who are you? What are you? I don't fucking know you. You're the one who needs advertising, not me. But here's some free advertising, because I really fucking love this company, and this is what helps me get in the mood. And they're not paying me shit, I assure you. This fabulous company that I found, it's called, hold on one second. I've talked about them before in my lives. Solays, I think it's pronounced Solays. Fucking fabulous, man, and so inexpensive. And I purchased like a truckload of incense, and it arrived yesterday. I'm smelling them all, and I probably will record a video talking about the scents that will help you get in the mood. I think it's important. It's very important to me. But the most fabulous one is Nag Champa. Holy fucking shit bananas. It smells like heaven. It smells like luxury. It smells like wealth. It smells like beauty. It's floral. It's perfumey. Oh God. I should have ordered more. So yeah. So I might put the link down below just for you to guys get it. The company that sells it is called Blunt Effects. But anyway, I'll include the link. So back to the subject now. In my audios and videos, which this channel is half and half, it seems now, it seems like I discuss SPs, right? It seems like I'm discussing how to help you bring back your SP, this and that, la la la. But we're really discussing you, and we're really discussing how you think. And reinterpreting the drama that you're so accustomed to, going the default setting set on drama, interpreting something as a negative. This needs to change, and this skill will help you throughout your life considerably. It might seem right now like your SP has his own mind or her own mind, but that's not the case. They don't have their own minds. The only mind that exists in the universe is your own. Please familiarize yourself with this truth. So when we spoke about, or rather I spoke about endlessly about being honest with yourself, what it is that you are projecting out into the universe and what it is that you're really thinking and therefore feeling about this SP situation of yours is a direct correlation between that and the manifestation or the lack thereof. Because no manifestation is still a fucking manifestation. Or if you're manifesting the old version still, then that's everything has to do with you. And I really don't mean to say this and you should feel horrible about yourself and you're to blame. Absolutely not. I think creation, and this is what a lot of coaches, by the way, make you feel like shit about. I do not. I simply say, take a look. This is the inventory. We are in a laboratory of creation. So if you put X, Y, and Z together, this will come out. If you put ABC together, then this will come out. So it's very fucking useful to take inventory in a very adult, responsible way. Not utilizing fake spirituality for spirituality, like I said, in my life, and saying, oh, this is not meant to be. I'm getting signs that they're coming on, they're coming next. Like, signs are great, don't get me wrong. Signs are great only, though, when you have your shit together. When you're, like, 100% in the state of knowing that what you are vibrating as is going to equal manifestation of your fucking dreams. So in order to achieve that, reinterpreting what you're dealing with right now, and this is what I do in my coaching parenthesis here. For those of you who don't understand yet my process, I cover everything that is in your history, starting from your childhood, for a very good reason, because chances are, there's a huge chance, enormous chance, that you are completely misinterpreting what happened in the past. Meaning, it's not like you're silly and you don't know what happened. No, it's not like that. But everything, and I mean everything, I don't care what the situation was that you lived through, can be completely interpreted in your favor. In your favor. Thus, you're not a martyr. Thus, you're not a victim. But a lot of people get so fucking carried away with this happened to me, that happened to, and this was ages ago, but I'm still here vibrating as that victim. Darling loves, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I love and adore my clients. 99% of them are absolutely mind-blowingly fantastic people, and I really mean it. But it has to be that you're choosing anew. And when you're choosing anew and you're literally like, is it any comfort for you to be in this vibration? Right? Is it any benefit for you to think this way? Is it any benefit to continue playing out the drama over and over and over and over again? No, it fucking isn't. It's like fucking Groundhog Day. And why? Because you're still narrating the same old story that is absolutely irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Can you hear me? It's a brand new day. Everybody showed up. Your higher self showed up. Your guardian angels showed up. Like, the whole fucking universe showed up for you to give them instructions. Like, what the fuck do you want? And you're still in the drama. So, like, I'm not oversimplifying this shit. This is as simple as it gets. Like, when people say, oh, you make it sound so simple. No, it fucking is that simple. The not so simple part, yes, I understand completely. You being the human that you are in this experience on Earth, parting with that narrative and completely discarding it like it was never your own. Because I have news for you. When you learn to interpret everything, but I mean everything, even the shittiest shit, okay? And I know I'm listening to my clients and I understand, like, the most shittiest shit seems like it's against you, and yet it's for you. and yet it's for you. And I'll tell you what else. I mean, you guys know this already. Before you even set foot as a, well, not set foot, before you even were born in this world, you already knew what was going to happen. You set that plan up for yourself, thinking that you would grow up, meaning you would evolve into this person that you really set out to be. If your soul is not evolving, it's regressing. So stop using those things that were meant to make you grow up spiritually. Suddenly I can't say this word. That were meant to evolve you, to transform you, to mold you, to create a visionary in you, that golden Buddha that sleeps within you. Stop interpreting those things in a negative way against you. And thus, you will turn around your entire fucking history, your entire fucking world. This, I promise you. If you're willing to take that journey with me, or if you're willing to think this way, period, your entire world will change, okay? I'll give you an example from my own life, okay? My father was married to my mother, and as a lot of you know, my mother was and is a narcissist, the most destructive narcissist, just the most horrible person. And that's okay with me. I've made peace with this a long, long time ago. I no longer judge her. I don't have any old feelings towards her. But at the moment when they were they were fighting nonstop and this and that, my dad ended up, when I was 10 years old, my dad ended up cheating on my mom. And, years later, it kind of dawned on me that, that was just the one time that we found out. I wouldn't have blamed him if he was cheating throughout, quite frankly, because she went out of her way to make his life absolute misery, just like she did to me and my sister. But he left. Essentially, he even attempted to come back and apologize to her and this and that. For our sake, I believe, for the children's sake, she was completely non-receptive, and eventually they split up. Now, wouldn't you know, so eventually they split up, and we lived separately. It's a long story. I'm going to save you the details for another audio. But essentially, they divorced. And that was that. And for a long, long time, I blamed my father. I detested my father. I was like, you are the reason why my life was horrible. My childhood was horrible. My teenage years were horrible. You were the reason why. You were not there. I mean, he tried to be there for us. But again, every single time that he attempted, she made it like fucking impossible to be in the room. And everything would break out in the ugliest of fights. And so my reasoning was he should have known better, he shouldn't have cheated, and all these kinds of ideas. And, I haven't spoken to him like during that period of time, like for 9 years. I was already in America, and I decided to stay here, and he had a huge problem with that, but I just did not want to hear of it. I'm like, what do you fucking care? You weren't there for me, kind of deal. And I haven't spoken to him like during that time, didn't speak to him for 9 years until I went back to visit. And he told me like straight up, do you realize what I have, like when I saw him face to face, do you realize what I had to go through with your mother? Not to blame her. Even at that moment, he didn't want to blame her. He said, not for nothing, we're not right for each other. God bless my dad. He is a little bit of a softie, and this is how she was able to get away with all of this. But for the first time, I saw the humanity in him. And I realized, my mom was the monster that couldn't, she made it impossible for our family. This is all years later, I realized this. So rather than in my mind, hating my dad and all men cheat and dooba-dooba-doo and this is why I'm having problems in relationships and lolly-la-di-da-di-da, I was like, now that I think about this experience, my dad showed me that one can leave One can leave? Fantastic! That's the lesson I'm deriving from it now. It's never too late to derive new lessons. One can leave. One doesn't have to put up with this bullshit. All right, so it wasn't in the most pretty way, but you know what? He didn't do it because he didn't love me. He fucking adores me. I mean, literally just adores me. Like, I'm not even ashamed to say he loves me more than my sister because I'm real. My sister is just like my mom. And so that's the lesson that I derived. And to me, I'm now like proud of my dad because he stood up to her. He didn't want to put up with her fucking bullshit of no sex and this and that and the other, because every time he would like come on to her when he was kind of tipsy, she would push him away. That was humiliating. And so instead of me blaming him, now I'm like, oh, I get it now. I understand. And thank you so much for leaving, for showing me that one does not have to put up with fucking abuse, that one has options, you see? Now, it don't matter that this all happened, you know, maybe around, I don't know, I was 30, 31. Everything kind of happened in the same moment as I was kind of open to processing my negative emotions, etc. at that time. It didn't matter that it was years and years. It was not too late. I got to reconsider my entire history and therefore to start to feel and vibrate differently towards men. I no longer saw them as somebody who could hurt me. Now, the reason that I did have relationship problems, parenthesis here, was not because of my dad. I mean, that could have added some, truth be told. But the majority of it is that my mother made me feel like absolute shit and really drilled it into my mind that I have to be a people pleaser, to deserve any kind of attention, any kind of love. And if I'm not being a people pleaser, nobody would even look my way. And that abuse is part of love, okay, because she used to hit me. And that is just the deal. And I should put up with anything kind of deal, which obviously, and of course, is a truckload of catastrophic bullshit. But you see how you get these messages when you allow yourself to no longer feel like a victim. You're not a victim. You get to reinterpret the entire shebang with your SP right now. Your SP feeds off of your own energy, of your own ideas about everything. Money, relationships, how relationships should work, what you think about them, what kinds of messages you're sending to them, what kind of messages you're sending out about yourself. So if all of you really sat down and thought it through, what kinds of thoughts, what kinds of messages was I sending out prior to meeting this wonderful man, wonderful girl, whatever it happens to be. And I do assume they're wonderful. I do assume they were not abusive to you. Otherwise, this is not part of the conversation, as I've made it very abundantly clear in my life. So go watch it again if you missed that part. So those thoughts then, you know, the story always kind of like goes the same, more or less. It starts out really good. You attracted this man or a woman by some magic and miracles, and you've had a nice time. And then at some point, your insidious fears, insecurities, worries, ideas about how relationships work and dooba-dooba-doo inserted themselves into the program for nobody's fucking business and started controlling and operating your world. And thus the relationship deteriorated considerably and this person is no longer in your life. Simple like that. I just fucking gave it to you. So, to take responsibility, not to blame yourself, but to really become educated as far as how this shebang happens. I've made it happen, you should say. Just like I made it happen, I can make happen other things. But to go off of the past, it serves you not. Who the fuck gives a flying fuck about the past? Yesterday's newspaper, what can you do with it? Nothing. Toss it in the garbage. Let's start brand new. Back to the drawing board you go. What the fuck you want to paint today? That's the only conversation. Now, of course, again, I'm going on the assumption that you've done the work, that you're either in coaching with me or doing it yourself. Somehow, some way, you're parting with the past. The processing and reconsideration of the past, reinterpretation of the past has to happen. It has to happen. And yes, it's fucking work. It doesn't happen in one day. There's layers to this work for your mind to accept a different past. When you reinterpret the past changes. I also have a video about that, how to change your past. I probably should update it now that I have better technology and this and that. But, we'll get there. Maybe I'll do it in a live this coming Saturday. We'll see. When you clearly accept responsibility for creating turbulence in this relationship, just like that, you are now empowered to create a different outcome for yourself. Because you say to yourself, I've never been a victim. I'm not a victim now. I've never been a victim before. All of this was orchestrated by me, starting with before I was born and came to this earth. Now, whether or not you believe in it, I don't give a shit. That's just what happens. You have control. I've seen enough. I've experienced enough. I've had so many vivid dreams that are not dreams at all of visiting the other side, like when people die. I do this on a regular. And it's always your choice to create a certain kind of life. I've yet to get into it, possibly in a live again, but how you deliberately create your experience on the other side. So creating it on purpose for you to learn something or to evolve or to become better at something, because Earth is a school, and then complaining about having to learn something makes no fucking sense. So your human mind has got to, yeah. Get used to the fact that you are like a most beautiful, fantastic, sensational, otherworldly rose that keeps unfolding. Like the old petals fall away, but it's always in bloom, but it's blooming new blooms. Like new petals are coming out and you're discovering more and more of who you are. Okay, it's a learning process. Get fucking used to it. Don't just hurry up and get there. Hurry up and get where? You're always evolving. You should be enjoying the unfolding of your desire. And you should be really enthralled with this mastership that you have, this power that you have over your reality to constantly evolve into a new, fantastic version of yourself. You have far greater potential than you realize. When you stop playing victim, when you stop hanging on this very SP who, again, is a figment of your imagination, who doesn't actually exist, you put them there as an actor, but basically you're imagining this person to be a certain way. Start imagining differently. They will mirror that fucking imagination. And by imagination, I mean an all-immersive experience. Meaning you feel a certain way, you see certain things, and it's as real as this reality, but it's just in your mind for now, just for a little moment, brief moment. If you let it in, it'll be here any moment. And this is the most coveted, right? Situation. How do you get there? But how do you get there? You know where you should get? You should get to the place that I just described, understanding that you're an ever unfolding, beautiful, golden Buddha rose. I don't even know if that works, but you are an ever unfolding, beautiful rose. Okay, and you should understand that this is the moment you're waiting for. It's not hurry up and get your SP. How am I vibrating right now? You have your SP right now. It's not idolizing the manifestation. It's really just being ever so healthily obsessed with your own vibration. Where am I now? What world am I residing in right now? In the victimhood world? Or am I truly, sincerely, abundantly allowing myself to be this childlike, magical creator who doesn't give a flying fuck what was yesterday, is childlike enough to just completely allow themselves to go into another world and imagine what you want to fucking imagine. What would the world look like if you had everything you wanted? And this is not a far-fetched idea. This is an idea that you can exercise every single day. And like an ever unfolding rose of your story, you will see these manifestations if you allow this world in and congratulate yourself on everything you've done thus far. Doesn't matter if it was successful, unsuccessful, it was learning. It brought you where you are today. This is the person you are today, and it got you here. So obviously, congratulating yourself that you've made it to this moment and you're listening to this audio, not for nothing, congratulations for finding my channel. Okay, I would be happy if I found my channel when I was like 25 or something. I would be fucking ecstatic. But nevertheless, not to pat myself on the back, but just true story. Okay, I'm giving it to you like real and raw over here. When you allow yourself to go into the world, that's your jumping ground. But to get into this mode of I'm allowing myself to completely part with the past because I misinterpreted the past. It wasn't that disgusting. It wasn't that appalling. It wasn't even that painful. I misunderstood it based on how I used to think back then, based on what people told me I should think, based on blue, blah, blue, blah, blue. Okay, if you really sit down and take the time to reinterpret the past, I'm telling you right now, magic will happen. And honestly, you will look back at this time when all you wanted was a text message from this person or an email or whatever, or a phone call or a meeting or even the marriage, all right, the proposal. And you think to yourself like, whoa, I am so much more than even this relationship over here that I used to idolize somehow, that this would make my life better. No, darling love, this is just, an ever so important accessory in your life. And I talk about this in these terms on purpose because it's high time you understand who is in charge here. You. So if you are idolizing somebody who you actually have power over, this is where the trouble begins. Like, you are so powerless. They have all the power. They're over there autonomously running around, doing whatever, being with a third party or blue, blah, blue, blah, blue. Insert your story, okay? Even the third party showed up as per your instructions. I'll give you, this piece of news that you might or might not be ready for, okay? So, again, they may have shown to you a completely different side, in quotations, of them. A completely different version of themselves showed up after a while. It's like a different person, you could say, because you were so invested in the drama. That's it. Start investing in your fairy tale. Start interpreting everything in your favor. Start disembarking from that idea of you being a victim, and start most certainly reevaluating everything that happened thus far and how can you turn it into your favor and how can you revise the past. That's kind of like how they call it in the manifestation circles. You are not this person that you think you are. You are not. Like I said, you have the most amazing potential that has yet to be explored. So quite frankly, when I listen to my clients tell me their story, I already see who they really are. I don't know how I do it. I just see it. It's there. It's right there on the surface, but just the person's mentality, it needs to shift for them to start vibrating differently. And then this world that you, again, idolize so much and you're chasing after right now, which you shouldn't be chasing. It should be chasing you. Very simple like that. It's not even chasing. It's just sitting in the middle of your universe and commanding by thought alone, by feeling alone, by intention alone, by vibration alone, a completely different scenario, but a radically different scenario. And I tell you something else, you could do this in one day, only after you have processed all the drama, trauma, panorama, and that becomes a regular occurrence. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.